I'm Ann Birch, the author of My Husband's Affair Became the Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me. I am co-founder of BeyondAffairs.com. I'm an affair recovery specialist, and I have helped more than 2,000 couples heal their marriages after infidelity. I've also helped many, many women and men navigate the painful road of divorce. And so today we're going to look at the question, should you tell your kids about the affair that happened in your marriage? The first thing I want to say about this question is it is not a one-size-fits-all answer. For some, the right thing is to tell, and for others, it might not be the right thing. And so I have to respect the individual journeys of people where they're at. But I would say that the most important thing to take into consideration regarding this is what is your motive for telling. Because motives are important for a good result in whatever you do. And if your motive is for good and for healing, then it can be a good thing. But if your motive is just to hurt your spouse and shame them and, then don't do it. Definitely think about what you're doing. If you have smaller children, you would want to make it age appropriate. I do recommend saying something to them because the chances are that they are picking up on the emotions that are in the home, and that's going to cause them to feel insecure. And I would recommend that you speak to that. So you might say, Mommy and Daddy are really, Daddy did something that really hurt Mommy, and that sometimes happens with grown-ups, and so that's why Mommy's been feeling extra sad lately. But don't worry, because Mommy and Daddy are getting some good help. I hope you are getting that good help, and we're going to be okay, and I still love you, and Daddy still loves you, and we're going to get through this. So speak to your children as to the anxiety that they might be feeling and give them the reassurance that they need. But never tell your kids or make a promise that you can't keep for sure. So don't tell your kids, don't worry, your dad and I will not be getting divorced, unless, of course, you know for sure that you will not be getting divorced. If you can say that, then by all means, you should say that. And then you might speak to other things, like let's say one of you has left the house for a period of time. You might say, even though Daddy's living somewhere else for a few weeks while we make some decisions here, he's still going to be here for Sunday dinner, and he's going to drive you to your soccer practice or whatever. So speak to the things that are concerning your child's life. With regards to adult children, here's the thing, don't, or even as they get into the teen years, never let your children become your counselors. So they will try, but that's emotional hijacking, and it's not right, and you don't want to do that. So you want to have your support system and your counselor or coach that you talk to, but that should not be your kids. So you can provide them with information, but you don't say, oh, your dad said this and I'm so angry and this and that. Like, don't involve them in the day-to-day drama of it. In an ideal world, it would actually be my recommendation that people tell their children from a healed position, so that your story is one that edifies the partner who acted unfaithfully, and makes them into a hero, actually someone to be respected, and that keeps it real within families. So on the interim, but if your kids are going to perceive that something is wrong, then just be honest and upfront about it. Yeah, Dad had an affair or Mom had an affair. These things happen with grown-ups. Yes, I'm really hurt. No, I don't really know what I'm going to do about it. But one thing I do know is I'm going to be okay, because I'm a smart woman, I'm a smart man, and I'm going to be willing to get the help that I need. And your mom still loves you, your dad still loves you, and we're going to be there for you. So, thanks for your concern, and pray for us. But when you have walked that journey, I recommend that you do tell. One, if they're living in your home, I find it hard to believe that they don't know, because the emotions tend to be so palatable. But I've had some people claim that their kids never know. So, perhaps it does happen in some families. I've more seen it the other way, where like after many years a confession comes out, and then the adult, child in their 20s shrugs their shoulders and goes, yeah, I knew about it all along. And here you were like going through a dilemma for 5 years, should we tell the kids or not, and they knew about it all along. So that could also be a thing. But here's why I think that it would be a good thing to share, is because there's generational patterns and secrets within families. And we perpetuate this pattern in our family lives by keeping the secrets. And it's not authentic, and it's not real. And it doesn't allow for the healing to not only happen in your lives, but in the future generations as well. And just from the place where I sit, I deal with many couples in their early 30s who are dealing with this. And so I always ask couples, like, who do you have, what are your parents like if they're in their 30s? And if I get this answer, which I often get, oh, my parents are wonderful people, they're godly Christian people, they're so amazing. I'm like, well, have you thought about telling your parents that you're going through this? Oh, no. We could never tell our parents. I mean, my parents are perfect. This would just devastate them. My mom would have a heart attack. My dad they wouldn't be able to survive this. No. We could never tell our parents, even though they have good, godly parents. Meanwhile, I deal with the ones who are in their, 50s, 60s, and 70s. We've had couples, more than you would imagine, where this happens 50 years into the marriage. So, side note, if you think because you're in your 70s this can't happen, I hate to tell you, you're wrong. Not to scare you, but just be vigilant. Never let your guard down. For yourself. You can only keep yourself from having an affair. But then when they don't want to tell their kids because their kids would be devastated. And I just wonder how often it could possibly be that I'm counseling both the parents and the children, adult children, through the same situation, and they're both busy keeping it secret from each other. And there could be so much healing and honesty that could take place in a family. And so for that reason, I think it's a good idea to tell. I know that I think one of the most devastating things that could ever happen for me as a parent is if I found out that one of my daughters was going through this and they felt that my life was too perfect to tell me that I could not be a support because of my perfect life. That would be devastating. So I don't want to give my kids an impression that my life is perfect. I want to give them an impression that life is real. I want to model for them forgiveness. I want to model for them that you don't run away from the problems. I want to model for them how you can go through something devastating and difficult and do so with dignity. So it's up to you.